Hi everyone, my name is Alisa Tilsner. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia. So today I'm going to be showing you how I have created this card here. It's a pretty simple little gift card. It measures 10.5 centimeters by 10.5 centimeters. So it's a nice little one that you could include with a gift or just as a card on its own if you wished. Now we have some brand new products coming out early February and they are our Celebration coordination products, but there is one die, which you can obviously see, which I think is perfect as a standalone item as well. So let's have a look at it and let's get started on our card. So this is the die. It's called Sending Flowers, and it's pretty good. This one's a pretty intricate one, as you saw, and then it's got some extra flowers and 2 sets of extra flowers and 2 labels that go along with it. So that's, like I said, I think it's perfect also for a standalone. It does go with the Sending Thoughts stamp set, but I'm going to use it without that. So what I've done first is I've actually run it through the Big Shot, and I should have popped all these bits out first, but that's okay. I might keep all of these this time for something different. I'll put them aside. I might be able to use them for something different, although it does have all these little pieces as well. But I will keep them all and hopefully not lose them. Whoops, I think I just did. That might be a little bit too tricky. Anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to pop out the centres of these little flowers as well, which I suppose is not overly necessary, but keep that one just in case. Okay, so that piece there is pretty much done, but it also, so it has all these gorgeous little flowers, but it also has this ring around it along the top here, which has been cut, so you can actually pop them up and fold them out so that you get a little bit more of a 3D look to it. So let's go on. I'm going to sit down now because I was standing up that whole time. Let's sit down. I have got a piece of 10.5 centimeters by 21 centimeters and I've scored it at the halfway mark. And I'm going to fold that in half, my bone folder. Okay, I am just going to bring in my daggy old grid paper and you'll see why. There's oodles of sponging on this one. So I'm going to use 4 colours to do my background sponging for this card. So I'll be using Balmy Blue and Blueberry Bushel at the top, and then on the bottom I've got Pear Pizzazz and Old Olive, and you can see I have a mixture of old and new ink pads as well. So let's start with our Balmy Blue, and I'm going to turn my card upside down. So I always find that I prefer working in an upside down manner, and I've got my trusty makeup brush here that I purchased at Kmart, and just make sure it's pretty clean. Okay, so I'm just going to dip it in, make sure that I'm in screen for you. And I'm going to not do the entire top section. I'm going to leave a bit of white at the top and then just sort of put a line of colour across here. And I do enjoy my colours quite dark, so I put on quite a bit of colour. And I just go backwards and forwards. Okay, then I'm going to come in with my Blueberry Bushel. Yep. Try and keep your fingers out of the white area, and then I'm just going to pop that on the top. And you can see the colours are actually quite different to each other. So quite heavy at the top again. Get that little middle bit there. And then just overlap a little bit. Now I'm going to go back into my Balmy Blue, so I'm just going to remove some of that darker blue. and go over the top of that again. I'm going to go over the top and up across that line until that line starts to disappear a little bit. Okay, that's nice and dark. As you can see, the colours still don't really look like they blend into each other, but they do settle down, and you know, once the ink sort of sinks into the card and relaxes a little bit. Look, I have... Oh, no, it's just the... I thought I had a visitor, but it's just the Garbo truck. So, okay, so now I'm going to clean off as much blue as possible. Just check in a spot. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same, but using the greens. So, just picking up that colour. And I'm going to go over, but I'm trying not to get too much of that green in the blue. I want to leave a little bit of a line there, and that's probably enough for that one. And Old Olive, actually I might open that card up just in case I haven't folded it properly. There's not a huge amount of difference between the two greens in colour. The Old Olive is slightly brighter, but we can work the two together again. And then back into the pear and just over that line a little bit. Like that. Pretty quick. Okay, pop all them away. Okay, now I am going to bring, I tend to not like to get water everywhere, so I'm just going to bring my cloth around, and I've got my Aqua Painter, and I'm just going to squeeze that until a drop comes out, and then I will flick over my card. Okay, now we just need to wait for that to dry a little bit. And in the meantime, I'll clear all this off. In the meantime, I would then cut out my flower shape. And I've also used the Itty Bitty Birthdays, Let's Celebrate You, and I have embossed it on Old Olive cardstock and cut it out with one of the label dies. And the other thing that I need to do is actually trim this down, because this at the moment is 10 by 10, 10.5 by 10.5, but I do actually want to have it trimmed down just ever so slightly so that you can see a bit of that colour around the outside. I'm just going to use one of these lines here as my line to make sure that I am square. And this gorgeous little paper trimmer, which is so super handy, again, just use one of those lines. This could be yours free when you join my team during celebration. So this is included in your starter kit, and it is so super handy for little like needing to cut little bits off like this. So just going around all four edges just to take it down just a smidge. So that way you've got a tiny little bit of sponge colour coming around the outside. Okay, so now I'm just going to assemble the card. And there we have our finished little card. Very cute, very quick to make, very effective. I love the deep colours behind it. I'll bring in my original one as well. It's got a different sentiment on it. The sentiment from this one is from the Well Said stamp set. So cute little cards that don't take much time at all and give a pretty big wow, I think. So thanks very much for watching. If you have enjoyed watching, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the notifications button so that you know when I have a new video out for you. Thanks for watching. Bye.